Hi everyone, welcome or welcome back. So this year we have learned so much about our emotions, emotional intelligence, emotional reactions, understanding and managing our emotions and so much more. So let's revisit a few simple laws that we have inculcated this year about managing our emotions and rising above them. First and foremost law that set you emotionally free is name the emotion and acknowledge it. So whenever you are feeling sad, your mood is off and you are not feeling well, instead of going on with the feeling, now start by naming your emotion. Start identifying that I am feeling scared, envious, insecure, rejected, abandoned, or whatever. Dig a little deeper into what you are actually feeling. Okay, just by naming the emotion, now our prefrontal cortex gets activated and we already start feeling better because we have acknowledged the issue. Okay, emotional waves only look for our attention. Okay, so the moment we name them, we tame them. That's why I always say never keep telling yourself that I am okay when something is actually wrong. Okay, by doing that, we burden our subconscious more and more because we are trying to suppress our emotions. Okay, so first, please name the emotion and acknowledge that you are feeling that way. Okay, secondly, challenge your preconceived thoughts or mastering our inner stories. Okay, so this is about bringing intelligence into our emotions, and this really works when our current emotions are triggered due to a past event and we start correlating the present with the past. Okay, so this time now ask yourself, does this belief or feeling still hold true in the present moment? Okay, do the self created stories in our mind actually hold any ground? This also involves analyzing the facts behind the story we have created. Okay, and one thing I consciously do is give my mind a happy and positive ending whenever it creates a negative story in the present moment. Okay, so if someone consciously demeans you, say to yourself they must be going through their own issues which have nothing to do with me. Okay, anything that does not allow your mind to dig deeper into negativity from a person or situations na help maintaining our emotional sanity. Okay, so be very transparent with yourself while doing this. And here too, you need to be aware of those self emotional manipulations while trying to ignore certain feelings or giving them an ending. Okay, third law we discussed was managing emotions in the moment. How do we do that? There are times when someone says or does something that immediately and unexpectedly makes us feel hurt, angry, or even offended. Okay, so in such moments, now pause and say that I need some time to digest what you said. Okay, never hesitate to ask for time to sit with when someone what someone said, especially when you feel like bursting at the other person. Okay, when someone is emotionally unloading on you now and trying to provoke a reaction, always pause. And this pause is not about retaliation or proving someone wrong. It's for you to understand the situation and to own your emotions better. Okay, so it's more about managing your own emotional reactions, basically. Right, now the fourth law we inculcated this year was open minded honest communication. We create a lot of emotional turmoil by assuming things that in reality don't even exist. Our minds fill in gaps with stories, interpretations, and those worst case scenarios, and we end up reacting to those stories rather than to the facts. Okay, so instead of assuming intentions, meaning, or outcomes, choose clarity. Okay, communicate directly with the concerned person, ask, express, and listen. Okay, many emotional wounds are not caused by what was actually said or done, but by what we thought it meant. Okay, so honest communication clears those confusion, reduce that unnecessary emotional suffering, and help us respond from awareness rather than from imaginations. Okay, now the fifth law was identifying the toxic patterns and set healthy boundaries. Okay, when people knowingly or repeatedly trigger you now, even after you have tried having honest, straightforward conversations, it's a clear pattern, not a misunderstanding. In such cases, create healthy boundaries with those people or environment because it becomes a necessity there. Okay, there is no other way. Boundaries are not about punishment or control. They are about self-respect and emotional stability. Okay, waiting for someone to change when they have shown no intention to do so is like waiting for something that is never going to happen. Okay, so protect your energy, your peace, and your emotional well-being by choosing boundaries. Now, the sixth law of emotional freedom that we have inculcated this year was when it is not about you. Ask yourself in such situations, is this really my emotional baggage, or am I simply mirroring someone else's emotions? This happens often when we are not conscious of our own emotional state. So we unconsciously start absorbing and channeling the emotions of the people around us. And that's why conscious awareness is the key. Okay. And at other times, we turn a small issue into a huge emotional roller coaster by stacking one negative thought on top of another, when in reality it wasn't that big to begin with. Okay, so again, awareness helps us break this chain of emotional reactions before it spirals. Okay, we create a lot of emotional dramas in our life when someone says something to us without realizing that the other person may be going through their own struggles, things that have nothing to do with us. Okay, so in such moments, detach with awareness, and you know what? When we stop reacting to someone's negative behavior now, we stop feeding the energy that sustains that behavior. Okay, now another law of emotional freedom that we learned this year is empathy. Empathy means understanding where the other person is coming from. This is where the role of active listening comes in. Okay, listening deeply, patiently, and without judgment. Okay, so listening to understand, not to prepare your answer or immediately reject the other person. Okay, this is a sign that you are able to understand different points of view instead of clinging to your own perspective. Okay, and only a person with huge emotional intelligence can truly do that. Okay, listening to understand, not to react, and this is what helps resolve conflicts in both personal and professional relationships. Okay, now the eighth law that we discussed this year was for those recent events that were creating negative emotions in the moment, okay, or at present. Here, what we can do is we can change the narrative around what happened. Okay, feel what you felt in the moment. Then, after some time, when you are more grounded, collect the facts and give your mind a story that does not later manifest as stored negative emotions or even illnesses in your body. Okay, treat your mind like a child or someone that you love deeply. Okay, help it understand that you are safe now, and create a story that relaxes and calms your mind. Okay, just as we unconsciously create so much negative stories about situations now, this time consciously create a positive or a neutral ending in your mind to any such event. Okay, your mind accepts what you feed it, so don't give it stories that create negative emotions now or in the future. Okay, and this process is known as cognitive reappraisal or cognitive reframing. Okay, it involves changing the way we think about a situation to alter its emotional impact on us. Okay, so instead of catastrophizing, you look for an alternative explanation or learning opportunities. For example, viewing a job rejection as a chance to find a better fit rather than a personal failure. Okay, now the ninth law for emotional stability and emotional freedom that we learned this year was delayed gratification and impulse control. So, delayed gratification is the ability to pause our immediate emotional needs and desires so we can make some wiser, more balanced decisions instead of being overwhelmed by those emotional waves. Okay, so it's choosing long term well being over short term relief or pleasure. Okay, impulse control, on the other hand, is the practice of stopping ourselves from acting immediately on an urge, whether it's a sudden excitement, sudden anger, or sudden sadness. Okay, when we react instantly, emotions tend to drive our behavior in extreme or sometimes in regrettable ways. Okay, so by learning to pause, breathe, and create a small gap between the emotion and the action, we regain our control. Okay, that pause allows logic, self awareness, and the emotional intelligence to step in. Okay, over time, this skills protects our relationships, decisions, and mental peace by helping us respond thoughtfully rather than reacting impulsively. Okay, now the 10th lesson that we learned for emotional freedom and emotional stability is learning those long term coping mechanisms. Okay, developing these long term coping mechanisms is essential for our emotional balance and resilience. Okay, these includes reframing those old stories, grounding practices, and journaling, which really helps bring suppressed emotions to the surface so that they can be processed instead of stored. Okay, so practices like yoga and breathing exercises, which calms our nervous system, regulate our emotional responses, and creates an inner stability in us. Okay, and you know what? Over time, now these tools help us respond to life with greater awareness, strength, and emotional clarity rather than operating on those unresolved emotional patterns. Okay, always remember, emotional mastery isn't about never feeling deeply. It's about learning how to sit with our emotions, understand them, and respond with awareness instead of reacting on autopilot mode. Okay, every pause you take, every emotion you name, every boundary you set is a step toward inner freedom. Okay, you don't need to be perfect, you just need to be present. Okay, so keep practicing, keep choosing awareness, and trust that with each conscious choice, you are creating a calmer, stronger, and more emotionally free version of yourself. That's all.